Nobody cares about your struggle, only your results. Welcome to Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. Let me hit you with something that might hurt. Nobody cares. Not about your bad childhood, not about your anxiety, not about how hard it's been, not about how tired you are. They care about one thing, your results. That's it. And if that offends you, good. Because somebody needs to tell you the truth. That warning reality check. You walk into a job interview. You say it's been tough. I've been going through a lot. They nod. But what are they thinking? Can you do the job? You post about your struggles online. People comment, stay strong, praying for you. But when opportunities show up, they go to the person who produced, not the person who posted. Brain, let that sink in. This world does not reward effort. That IT rewards execution. That IT does not reward intention. That IT rewards completion. That IT does not reward struggle. IT rewards solutions. You can cry all night, but if you don't build skill, discipline, consistency, you stay stuck. Fire micro story. You said you were going to start working out. You bought the shoes. You watched the videos. You followed fitness pages. Point 3 weeks. Later, you quit. And now you say, I tried. No, you visited. You didn't commit. And guess what? Nobody cares that you meant to get in shape. They see the result. Direct it. You want sympathy or success. Because you don't get both. You want people to understand your pain. But the world rewards value. Read that again. The world rewards value. That if you solve problems, you get paid. That if you build skill, you get promoted. That if you show up consistently, you get trusted. Not because your life was hard, because you performed. Collision. Stop using pain as permission. You went through something that so did everybody else. You think you're the only one fighting demons? The difference is this. Some people use pain as fuel. Others use pain as an excuse. Which one are you? Firecracker pattern interrupt. Let me ask you something. That if your rent is due tomorrow, do the bills care about your struggle? If your family depends on you, do they care how overwhelmed you feel? If your future self is watching you right now, do you think they want to hear excuses or results? Mobile phone, the hidden trap. You tell yourself, I'm trying, but then you scroll for 2 hours. You say you're stressed, but you binge Netflix until 2 a.m. You say life is unfair, but you wake up at 10 a.m. with no plan. And then you say, nobody understands how hard it is. No, you don't understand how serious this is. Brain calm moment. Focus, listen carefully. Your struggle matters, but only if it builds you. If your struggle makes you sharper, stronger, more disciplined, it becomes power. If your struggle makes you softer, bitter, passive, it becomes your cage, and nobody is coming to unlock it. Bomb, here's what hurts most. Somebody with less talent than you is winning. Somebody who had fewer advantages is building. Somebody who also struggled is executing. And you know why? Because they stopped talking about how hard it is and started becoming harder than it. Fire, you say you're hungry, but hunger produces action. Real hunger doesn't complain. Real hunger sacrifices. Real hunger studies when others scroll. Real hunger trains when others sleep. Real hunger doesn't post, that IT produces. Stop sign, stop romanticizing the grind. You love watching motivational videos. You love quotes. You love saying, this is my year. But when it's time to wake up early, silence. When it's time to skip the party, excuses. When it's time to work while nobody's clapping, you disappear. And then you wonder why nobody believes in you. Because you haven't shown proof. Bar chart results are loud. Results don't argue. Results don't beg. Results don't explain. They speak. Your body speaks. Your bank account speaks. Your habits speak. but discipline speaks. Where you're saying, collision explosion, you don't need more understanding. You need more execution. You don't. Need more sympathy. You need more standards. You don't need another motivational clip. You need to close this video and get to work. Because while you're explaining your struggle, somebody else is building their future. That cross-swords hard question. If we remove your excuses, what would be left? If we removed your complaints, what would your schedule look like? If we removed distractions, would you still be behind? Or would you finally become dangerous? Brick the brick by brick rule. Nobody builds success in one leap. That it's daily, that it's boring, that it's repetitive, that it's uncelebrated. And that's why most of you won't do it. Because you want applause before proof. Directed shift your identity. Stop saying, I'm going through a lot. Start saying, I'm building something. Stop saying, it's hard. Start saying, it's necessary. Stop saying, I'm trying. Start saying, I execute. Identity changes behavior. Behavior creates results. Results change your life. Fire closing pressure, part 1. Nobody cares about your struggle. But here's the twist. Your struggle can become your advantage. That if you use it, pain can sharpen you. Failure can discipline you. Rejection can focus you. But only if you stop talking and start producing. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't reward how hard it was. That IT rewards what you build anyway. You heard the truth. Now let's go deeper, because some of you listened to part 1 and said, okay, I get it. No, you heard it, but you didn't feel IT.S. Oh, let me press harder. Firecracker the scoreboard doesn't lie. Life is a scoreboard. You can explain the score. You can blame the refs. You can say you were injured. But the scoreboard only shows one thing. The result. You say you want to be in shape. Scoreboard. Are you? You say you want money. Scoreboard. Do you have savings? You say you want respect. Scoreboard. Do your habits reflect discipline? Stop talking about what you plan to do. Show me what you've done. Fire micro story. The 6 a.m. lie. You set your alarm for 6 a.m. You felt motivated at night. You told yourself, tomorrow is different. Alarm rings. You hit snooze 0.7 minutes. Snooze again. Now it's 7:45. Now you're rushing. Now you're stressed. Now you're blaming the day. That one decision, that's why nobody cares about your struggle. Because your struggle isn't stronger than your comfort. Brain, calm down. Listen, discipline is not loud, that it's quiet, that it's choosing what's hard when nobody sees you, that it's studying when your friends are gaming, that it's training when your body says stop. It's saving money when everyone else is spending. Nobody celebrates that in the moment, but they respect the result later. Collision, you want understanding? Let me flip it. Imagine you hire someone, they show up late, miss deadlines, complain about stress, blame traffic, blame their past, blame their mental state. Are you keeping them, or are you replacing them? Exactly, that's how the world sees you. Cold, not emotional, not personal, just performance. That warning, harsh truth. Your excuses sound intelligent to you. They sound logical. They feel justified, but they are still excuses. I'm overwhelmed. Then simplify. I don't know where to start. Then learn. I don't feel motivated. Then build discipline. Motivation is emotional. Results are mechanical. Fire pressure rising. You're not behind because life is unfair. That you're behind because you hesitate. You delay. You doubt. You overthink. You scroll. You wait for perfect conditions. Meanwhile, someone else starts messy, starts scared, starts unprepared, and wins because they moved. Brick the brick principle. You don't need a breakthrough. You need a brick. Point 1 task, point 1 hour, point 1 focus session, point one workout, point one page, point one application, point one uncomfortable decision. But your ego wants big change instantly. That's why you quit. Because real growth feels small at first. Mobile phone, the addiction, you ignore, you say you're tired, but you're overstimulated. Notifications, reels, short videos, group chats, streaming. You are constantly consuming, but never producing. You know everything, but build nothing. Nobody cares how many podcasts you listen to. What have you applied? Brain calm moment. Identity check right now. Who are you becoming? Be honest that if I followed you for 30 days, your habits, your sleep, your diet, your focus, would I say, this person is serious? Or this person likes the idea of success? Because those are two different people. Bomb the silent killer. Inconsistency, you don't fail because you're incapable. You fail because you stop. You start strong. Gym for 10 days. Business idea for 2 weeks. Study routine for 5 days. Then you disappear. You don't lose because you're weak. You lose because you don't stay. Results require repetition. Repetition requires discipline. Discipline requires standards. And your standards are negotiable, that's the problem. Fire raise the standard, stop negotiating with yourself. If you say 5 a.m., it's 5 a.m. If you say no junk food, it's no junk food. If you say 2 hours of study, it's 2 hours. No debate, no emotion, no discussion. Because every time you negotiate, you weaken your authority over your own life. And if you can't lead yourself, why would anyone follow you? Cross toward the respect factor. You want respect. Respect is built in private. Nobody respects potential. They respect proof. They respect consistency. They respect someone who does what they said they would do, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Firecracker micro story. The party decision, it's Friday night. Your friends are going out. You have work to finish. You say, I'll just go for an hour. You come home at 2 a.m. You skip your morning plan. You say, I'll reset Monday. Monday becomes next month. That one night, nobody sees it, but it compounds. Results are the compound effect of small choices. Brain, let's get real. You don't need another opportunity. You need to maximize the one you have. You don't need a new year. You need a new standard. You don't need to find yourself. You need to discipline yourself because the world doesn't care about your intentions, only your output. Collision, explosive truth. Some of you are addicted to sympathy. You like people saying you've been through a lot. You like the validation. You like the comfort. But sympathy doesn't build muscle. Sympathy doesn't build income. Sympathy doesn't build skill. IT makes you feel understood, but still stuck. Directed the skill gap. Here's the uncomfortable question. Are you valuable? If your job disappeared tomorrow, what can you offer the world? What skill have you mastered? What problem can you solve? Or are you just hoping someone gives you a chance? Hope is not a strategy. Skill is fire. Urgency, rising time is moving, not slowly, fast. Every year you delay, someone younger gets sharper, someone hungrier gets better, someone more disciplined gets ahead. You think you have time, but time doesn't pause because you're confused. Brain calm, focus. The decision point right now, you're at a fork. Path 1. Keep explaining, keep scrolling, keep delaying, keep restarting, stay average. Path 2. Shut up, focus, work, repeat, build, produce. Nobody claps at first, but they notice later. Bomb the regret vision. Picture yourself 5 years from now. Same habits, Same excuses, same distractions, same complaints, watching others win, saying that could have been me. That's the real pain, not the struggle, the regret. Fire final pressure wave. Part 2. Nobody cares about your struggle, but you should, not to complain, not to explain, but to transform it. Turn it into fuel, turn it into work ethic, turn it into obsession, turn it into proof. Because when you finally produce, when your body changes, when your income grows, when your focus sharpens, when your results speak, the same people who didn't care about your struggle will respect your success. Not because they're mean, but because that's how life works, that IT responds to output. And right now, your output is optional. Thought that's dangerous. Because optional effort creates guaranteed regret. This is IT in more comfort, in more soft talk, that you've heard the truth. You felt the pressure. Now it's time to decide who you are. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about your struggle, but you will care about your regret. Firecracker, the mirror test, stand in front of the mirror and music and phone and distractions. Just you. Can you honestly say, I'm giving everything I got? Or do you know, deep down, you're coasting, you're doing enough to survive, not enough to win? And that gap is where your future dies. Fire micro story, the quiet comparison you open social media. You see someone your age buying a house, launching a business, getting in shape, graduating top of their class. You feel that sting, you say they're lucky. But you don't see the 5 a.m. mornings, the skip parties, the lonely nights, the focused grind. You only see the result. And guess what? That's all the world sees about you too. Braincom truth, you are not behind because you're incapable. You are behind because you're inconsistent. Read that again. Inconsistent effort creates invisible progress. And invisible progress feels like failure, so you quit. But what if you didn't? What if you stayed locked in for 12 months straight? No dramatic breaks, in emotional. Quitting that in disappearing. Just steady execution that you understand how dangerous you would become. Collision stop announcing. Start building. Some of you talk too much. You announce your goals, you post your plans, you tell your friends what you're about to do, and that little bit of attention, it tricks your brain that IT feels like progress. But nothing changed. Talking is not transformation. Posting is not productivity. Planning is not proof. Results are proof. Cross towards the discipline line. There's a line out on one side. Excuses, emotion, comfort, delay, validation on the other side. Standards, routine, sacrifice, focus, execution. You cross that line every single day. The question is, which side are you choosing more often? Because that side determines your future. Fire pressure wave. Ownership, say this out loud. It's my fault. Not your parents. Not the economy. Not your ex, not your mental state. You. That doesn't mean life is fair. IT means you're responsible. And responsibility is power. Because if it's your fault, it's also in your control. Brick the daily war. Stop thinking about the next 5 years. Win today. Win this hour. Win this decision. The war isn't dramatic. It's small, that it's saying no to junk food, that it's saying yes to the workout. It's studying when you're bored. It's working when you're tired. It's shutting up when you want to. Complain. Small wins. Repeated daily. That's how results are built. Bomb the truth about respect. You want people to believe in you. Give them evidence. You want your family proud? Show discipline. You want your friends to take you seriously? Become consistent. Because words without work create doubt, and doubt spreads fast. But discipline silences critics. Brain calm focus. Your standard, what is your minimum standard? Be honest that I yes it, I'll try. Or is it, I don't miss? Because champions don't operate on, I'll try. They operate on identity. This is who I am. I don't skip. I don't quit. I don't fold. Identity makes decisions automatic. Fire micro story. The turning point one night that you're tired. You don't feel like working. Old you would scroll. Old you would delay. Old you would say tomorrow. But this time, you sit down anyway. You work for 45 minutes that is not perfect, but it's done. That moment, that's the shift that's how average dies. Not in a speech in a decision that warning the cost of staying the same if nothing changes. Nothing changes. Your body stays average. Your bank account stays stressed. Your confidence stays low. Your dreams stay ideas. And the worst part, you get used to it. You normalize underperformance. You call it realistic. No, it's comfortable failure. And it compounds. Collision final wake-up call. You don't need another video. You don't need another quote. You don't need another perfect Monday. You need to act. Today. Right after this. Because momentum doesn't start with motivation. IT starts with movement. And movement creates belief. Belief creates intensity. Intensity creates results. Firecracker, the 12-month challenge. Imagine this. For the next 12 months, you don't quit. You don't disappear. You don't negotiate with your goals. You show up. Even when it's boring, even when it's slow, even when nobody notices that. You understand what that would do to your life. Your body would change. Your skills would sharpen. Your income would shift. Your confidence would explode. Because consistency beats talent every time.